GTSS back with another video, and in this video I'll be going over my top 5 universal Windows 10 apps of 2015. So let's go ahead and get started here. I have them all in the start menu here, and the first one we're going to go over is actually the NFL on Windows app. There's actually an NFL game going on right now, but so that's completely irrelevant. This NFL on Windows app is actually it's actually made by Microsoft and NFL together, so you know that's going to have some pretty good quality, and it definitely does. You can resize it, of course, which is the characteristic of a universal app. It works on phones, tablets, any Windows device. It gives you stats, scores on any game. So if I go ahead and check out a game here, it'll give you instantaneous videos. So whenever your team scores a touchdown and you add it as a favorite, it will alert you. It'll send you a little notification down here, and it'll say, hey, Greg Olsen scored a touchdown, or this happened, and then you can actually watch the touchdown, and it's really awesome. You can also using these next-gen replays, you can also analyze the touchdowns, and that's a really cool feature. It actually lets you see the formation. Let's see if I can get it to work here. If I go ahead and go into analyze the play here, I can actually see the actual formation as the video plays. And so it's probably not going to load here because of just internet and recording, but I can guarantee you it is a very nice feature. And so just overall, it's a really nice app. Just stats everywhere. It alerts you for games. It alerts you. You can also connect it to your fantasy if you're doing it on NFL, but no one does. But if you do, you can connect it there. So that's my first pick. The NFL on Windows app is really well done. It doesn't even have many glitches. So second up is going to be the Twitter app. Now, it's not the best Twitter app for Windows, that's for sure. There are better Twitter apps, like TweetDeck and stuff are better, but in terms of what's available in the store, I think this is the best you're going to get. And they did update it a few months ago to make it universal, so it works across tablets and phones and any Windows 10 devices. And it really is pretty good. It doesn't crash. It's really lightweight, and it has a live tile. And again, resizable and everything, and it fits. As you can see, the icons over here are now small and they don't have text. You can do trending. If I go ahead and click on one, just the NFL theme is really prominent in this video. I can go ahead and look at the tweets. Now, pardon my Wi-Fi, but I mean, here it is. So I can favorite, I can heart, I can retweet, I can reply, I can do all that stuff. Videos, photos, everything just works. With this app, you can, of course, retweet things, you can write, you can actually post tweets, just everything works here, and it's really nice. It hasn't glitched out. It's not the most full-featured, that's for sure, but it gets the job done in terms of just quickly browsing Twitter. You might have to refresh it, might have to manually press the refresh button sometimes, because it doesn't refresh sometimes when I actually click on the Twitter app. But overall, this is definitely my second pick for the best universal Windows app of 2015. Next up is, you probably saw this coming, VLC. Now this isn't in any order because VLC is probably the most important. Now I don't think, there is of course a classic desktop app available for VLC, which I also have installed. But this is not as good, but in terms of being available on RT devices, on phones and tablets, this is pretty darn good. Aesthetically, it looks very good. It's organized pretty well. It also opens apps. No, it doesn't do that. It opens music and videos very well. You also have pause play controls, and I'm going to go ahead and open up a video file here so you guys can see this. If I go ahead and, let me just mute this. If I go ahead and open up my introduction to my videos in the VLC for Windows store, as you can see right here, it plays. You also have play pause controls down here. So overall, it's a really basic app. You're not going to get anything really amazing. It definitely doesn't stack up to what's available on the desktop app, but it is a quality app, and it's catching up to the desktop app. So I think eventually VLC is going to switch to the universal app because it is really well done. Alright, fourth is Microsoft's own app called Fresh Paint. Now, this is actually better than Paint in a lot of ways. It's more modern. It's a universal app, of course. It's Microsoft's own, and you can have a lot of features, much better than Paint, much more detailed than Paint. So as you can see here, you've got your drawing selection, I guess you want to call it. So here you're allowed to choose if you want a pencil, which kind of pencil, different brush styles, different brush colors. I can go ahead and start drawing. Now, I don't have a stylus on this computer, but if you do have a stylus, I've heard it works very well with styluses, especially the Surface Pro styluses. It detects pressure. As you can see, the colors also mix. It detects pressure. It detects the angle that you're drawing at, as you can see right there. Just overall, this is a very well-built app. I'm really surprised by what they were able to do here. It's much more detailed than Paint by default, and it syncs to your OneDrive if you want that enabled. So overall, this is much better than Paint, and I don't really know why Paint is pre-installed and this isn't pre-installed, because this is just leaps and bounds better than Paint. And it works on phones and tablets, so this fresh Paint, give it a try. If you don't use Paint or photo editing, this isn't really a photo editing, this is just a drawing. So if you're not a big stylus person, if you're not a drawing person, probably not much use to you, but it is a good replacement to Paint if you use Paint. And the last app I wanted to show you guys is the Wunderlist Universal app. Now, Wunderlist is actually has been bought by Microsoft earlier this year, so you'd expect this to be a good universal app, and it definitely is. Now, there are some glitches with syncing across devices if you have Wunderlist on your phone, but overall, you can add a to-do list item here like make cool vids, and you can add it, and then you can check it off, of course. So overall, this is pretty simplistic. As you can see right there, a glitch. I just crossed that off and it came back. So it is glitchy, but overall the functionality is pretty good. There are keyboard shortcuts, as you guys saw. You can make different categories of lists. So overall, you can add due dates and reminders and notes and attachments and everything. So overall, it's a very nicely built app. It reminds you via email and in the notification tray. So overall, it is a very good universal app. There are bugs, though. It's not perfect, but it is getting there, and I'm glad to see that Microsoft is making good universal apps. Now, there were some honorable mentions. Of course, Netflix didn't make it on the list because I don't use Netflix very much, and I think their desktop client is much better if you're on Windows, or not their desktop client. I mean their online client. There were some other honorable mentions as well. But overall, I think these were the best ones that I've seen throughout the year. These were made early on in the year. There are some new ones made recently. But these are the best ones in my opinion. So that's pretty much it for this video, guys. I hope you enjoyed. If you want to see more Windows 10 and tech coverage, be sure to subscribe and leave a like on the video. And of course, thank you for watching.